Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week, and it was a big week at the comic shop. 12 new comics. That's a goodly amount. I think it cost me $48. That's a pretty big price. But first, we'll start with our top of the printer comics this week. And we've got Grimjack, number 18 by Tim Truman, and Tomb of Dracula, number 22 by, who did this again? Rich Buckler and Tom Palmer. And as you can see here, this one is a wreck. I'm pretty sure I got this one. Someone gave it to me back when I was a teenager. And how do you even do that? I'm not even sure how do you rub off that big, but I kind of think it fits well with the cover. It's like this big mass of eraser from that's the lightning bolt. The lightning has erased half of the cover, and it's coming for Dracula. So I had these two out all week. Now I'll pick two more to have in there. I don't know how that happened or why I think it looks cool, but I do. Issue 22, Tomb of Dracula. Let's see, what comics did I get? This is You'll Do Bad Things, Boss, Turtlisi, Otsmain El How. There's the names up there. I think this is the one I missed issue 2 of, so now I have 1, 3, and 4. I should get a digital copy. They were trying to get an copy of number 2 in for me, but I don't think it came. This is the one that's about the writer who's having a crisis because he was a true crime writer, now he's trying to write fiction. But he's finding whenever he writes fiction, it turns out to be about a murder, and then that murder something near that murder happens. So he's kind of freaking out. So that's the story of this one so far. I've enjoyed it. This is the one I was confusing it with. We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, number 4, because they both came out the same week, and Matthew Rosenberg is doing this one. He's writing this one, and Tyler, right? That's his first name. Boss is writing this one, and the two of them together do What's the Furthest Place from Here. So it's like, who's doing which one? But this is the one that's sort of about a James Bond type villain. Oh, that almost matches my shirt. A little more dullness in the background on that cover. Pretty dull cover too. This robot may or may not have the James Bond villain's mind in it at this point or something, and this is the James Bond villain's daughter over here, and the James Bond who I think is the Rook, because it says a Rook thriller up there. So the Rook invaded the James Bond villain guy was Vitruvian, that's his name, like the the Da Vinci drawing. He'd been gone for 20 years. But eventually the Rook tracked him down, and much to his bosses at MI6's dismay, hunted him down. And now the group of villains who were his sort of compatriots, but he didn't always get along with them, have kidnapped the daughter or something. But the robot's there too, and we'll see what happens. Then we've got issue number 2 of Xander Cannon's Sleep. And this one is mostly black and white with some bits of red. There's a bit of red over there. And it's about and it just kind of introduced us in the first issue to all the characters. First issue is almost a slice of life story, except when this guy goes to sleep, monsters attack the town. So he doesn't even know. No one knows that's what's happening. Last issue was just him waking up and going about his day in sort of a slice of life way, finding out that monsters attacked the town the night before, and he knows nothing about it, except he can see they came up to his front door, kind of, and then didn't do anything. And his cat's missing, and other slice of life stuff like that. So we'll see how this one goes. But I like Xander Cannon's Kaiju Max a lot, so we're picking up that one. And here we go with Rick Remender, Paul Azaceta, and Matthias Lopez. I used to work in the Marvel bullpen with Paul Azaceta, the artist. And this is the one they're called The Seasons because there's 4 daughters, each named for a season. Their parents were adventurers and disappeared. And they're all different ages too, and have different interests and stuff. Like one's a scientist, one's a singer, a pop star, and the youngest one is like 13, 14. She's the one who's mostly been about. And they're trying to figure out what happened, or at least the 13-year-old wants to know what happened to her parents. And then this mysterious circus came into town, and that's what this first story arc has kind of been about. The circus coming to town. What issue? This is issue 5. So we'll see with that one. Then issue 28 of Rogue Sun. This is a superhero one, was it? Let's get the names. Parrot, Cotton, Abel, Frenda, Marquez, and Carrie. I think the first 2 are writers. Abel is one named person, is the artist. Becca Carey is the letterer. This is a superhero book about a teenager who inherited the mantle of this Rogue Sun superhero suit when his estranged father died. And now we've got 2 Rogue Sons when the father had a second family who he wasn't estranged from, and a daughter who's a few years younger than the teenager here, I think. And she's got a super suit too now. It happened plot-wise somehow. But it's been a fun, solid superhero story. This is one I've been enjoying quite thoroughly. Christopher Cantwell, Tyler Crook, Out of Alcatraz, number 4. There's our 3 people who've been on the run, a woman who's been helping them, and 2 guys. And this story is, of course, we all know the famous Escape from Alcatraz story where the 3 guys escaped from Alcatraz, went into the San Francisco Bay, and then just disappeared. Lots of people said they made it. Lots of people said they didn't make it. This one says they made it, and this is what happened to them after they made it. Love the artwork on this. Watercolor stuff, and I know these are physical pages because I've been to Tyler Crook's website where he sells them, and I've looked at some of the pages. Sells them for about $400 a page, which seems pretty good deal. So I've been enjoying this one thoroughly. It's sort of a crime. I'd call it noir, but it's all in the daylight. It's a crime story about these guys trying to escape and the trouble they're having. Not escaping Alcatraz, but the trouble they're having once they escaped Alcatraz. And they had a plan set up, but things didn't go to plan, and now they're trying to make it through. Here is a first issue I pre-ordered. News from the fallout. Restricted area. Warning. This facility has been declared a restricted area. Okay, I don't remember what this one's about. But it's about restricted stuff. Chris Condon, Jeffrey Allen Love. There's their names there. Like I said, I must have, when I pre-ordered these about 5 weeks ago, I, look at some preview art maybe, check the names out, and read a little blurb of what it's about. But I can't remember what this one is about, but I'll give it a read. And then Lazarus is back. Lazarus Fallen, issue 1. This is a book I used to collect. Greg Rucka, Michael Lark, and then Arcus and Mayer. I used to collect this one. Still have all my issues. But then they switched over to a format I didn't like. The square-bound format that they were putting out like twice a year. And the back half of it was filled with back matter that I just kind of wasn't interested in that format. So I ended up buying the trade paperbacks of those 2 particular arcs. But now it's back to a comic. I think it was Gore Vidal, a YouTuber, told me that this is going to be 20 issues. So got 20 issues of Lazarus. I'm glad it's back in a comic book format. Not 100% sure why it is. Maybe they explain that to him. But I'm just not a huge fan of that square back comic book because the comics don't open right for me. They're usually more expensive. And like I said, And half the expense was all that back matter, source book stuff, which I'm not terribly interested in. But Lazarus Fallen's on my pull list now, so. Then we've got Feral, issue number 14. The kitty cat's facing all the rabid zombies story. They managed to get into this pet store. It was like it was sort of like a heist almost book last issue where they had to find a way to get into this pet store. They were using like telephone lines and stuff to get in. And they got in, and last we saw there were already some cats living in that pet store. So we'll see if the different cats can get along. But outside the pet store, they're surrounded by they act as zombies. They're rabid dogs, rabid animals. So, and here's one I got: Scott Koblish cover, The New History of the DC Universe, #1. I got this because of my friend Scott Koblish doing the cover, and I really like these million figure covers that he does. Funny, John at the comic shop who works the cash register was like, he didn't like this cover because Superman was on the back. It's like, Superman should be on the front. Like maybe he'll be on the front some other time. I don't know. But really cool. He has done quite a few of these million figure covers. What did he do them for? Did them for Fantastic Four, maybe X-Men. I can't remember. I bought a few of them. So I think he's doing one each issue. So I will be getting more of these Scott Koblish covers. Then we've got Department of Truth, issue number 31, scary cover. This one is kind of stalled out for me. Like the latest story arc was kind of all about the characters stalling out. They're all trying to. This is the one that the main theme of the book is. It's a world where if you can convince enough people of a conspiracy theory, that conspiracy theory becomes true and rewrites history. And the Department of Truth is trying to either stop that from happening or make that happen in the favor of the United States. And like I said, it's led to a lot of existential crises among the participants. And the very first story arc was a new agent coming on board. So it was all about that new agent. And now it's permeated all the way out to different agents and different stuff. And so I think this last story arc was just kind of a lot of people. That's a kind of cool page right there. Pixies. A lot of people coming to terms with stuff. So we'll see what terms they come to. Then the last comic we've got is Joseph Schmalke's 7 Years in Darkness. This is year 3. This is the one that's about a wizard school, basically. Except like every 80 years or whatever it is, these families have to send a student to this school. And out of the 100 students, only like 3 survive. And they become like the wizards for the place. And when the last wizard dies, I think they have to open up the school again. That's why it's not any set amount of time. But it's like, I think like 2 of the 3 wizards died right away last time. So like only 1 wizard even lasted. So this is all about the students in the school and the teachers too. Midnight Factory. I don't know what that is. Midnight Factory, issue number 1. Is that Joseph Schmalke's imprint, or is this who's actually publishing it? Midnight Factory Press, LLC. I thought they were printed by that might be a new, midnightfactorypress.com. I don't think Midnight Factory Press, whoever they are, published year 1 and year 2. I forget who published it, but publisher, co-creator, Joseph Schmalke. So I guess he co-owner Hilary Schmalke. So I guess they started their own self-publishing company. There you go. Let me show you a little of my stuff. What do I got back here? Got another Dreams of Things cover for you. 285. When did I do this one? May 6th. That's a strange face. Strange granite amoeba face kind of thing. Big red hair. 2 faces over there. Not a lot of weird space in this one. It's mostly a giant head. But we got weird space on this one. This is the second painting I've done in the month of June. I wanted to get some paintings done this summer, so I got 2 done before summer even started. That's good. I don't think I'll start the next one to the beginning of July. We'll have to see about that, because I kind of got a little tired. But now, today I was really tired. But here we go. This is Mr. Sleep, someone else who walks the edges of the dream world, looking for people to come into the dreams. So, like I said, this is the second one. I kind of like the way it came out. I tried to keep it simple. The first picture I did was really complex and took me 9 days. This one only took me 5 days, I think it was. I wanted to keep it a little bit simpler, so that's what I did. Kept it a little bit simpler, but I like the space of it. I like the color and the way it came out. Alrighty. Some artwork. Hold on, let me put this back where it's supposed to go. Just got to get in the right spot or it's going to fall over. Some artwork, some comic books. You guys have a good week out there.